Hello and welcome to another episode of The Elegant Life. My name is Erin Kurt and I am a spiritual teacher and spiritual life coach who assists you in living and being able to manifest your own elegant life for yourself. Today we're going to be talking about how to slow your life down and start experiencing more peace. This life that people are living is so fast and quick. And I know that I can get into those traps too, where I start thinking that that's the normal, and we just start going and going and going and going. And those of you who have children, as I do, life is full, isn't it? What I want to show you though is exactly little ways throughout your day for you to bring peace back into it. Remember, the way I always talk about things is we have a choice always about everything. We have a choice whether to run around in this stressed vibration. And what I find is that a lot of people can get caught up in almost, it becomes like you're addicted to it, showing how busy you are. Oh, you think you're busy? Well, I got this and I got this and I got this. It becomes just your way of life, your identity. So are you ready to learn 7 ways that you can easily bring peace into your life every single day? Let's get started. All right, number 1 absolutely has to start with a morning ritual. I call this my elegant morning ritual because it is something that sets me up to have an elegant day. It creates the foundation for which you build everything else on. If your alarm goes off and you hit snooze 2 times and then you have to get up because you know you're going to be late and you're rushing and just grabbing something and out the door, that's not a great foundation to make the rest of the day. The way that I do my morning ritual, I've done a video which I will link below about my daily ritual, really just telling you some of the things to have in your morning ritual, parts of it, and you can do it any way that feels good for you, but there's components that I really believe you need to have. One is to check in with your soul right when you wake up, so you have your journal right by your bed and you ask it certain questions. How would you like to move today? What would make this day great for you today? What would you enjoy doing today? These kind of things. So you ask yourself some very key questions. And then you move on to writing out, I usually suggest about 3 affirmations. And then you write your intention for the day. And then you also, which I highly recommend, that puts you in the best kind of energy, is writing 5 things you're grateful for and being really specific about why you're grateful for them. That's the writing part, and that really doesn't have to take more than 2-3 minutes. Then you can sit up in bed or you can stay lying down, and you just want to get in tune with your body. And I think one of the most beautiful questions you can ask yourself is this: who am I? Who am I? Because many times we identify with the physicalness of us, the human, but that necessarily doesn't serve us. The internal soul that we are serves us, that allows us to do things in this physical life with more ease and elegance. So it's good to get tuned in with that and remember who you are. I am divine consciousness. I am peace. I am abundance. I am generosity. I am expansiveness. Whatever words you want to say that represent this divine you. And then I do some other things, and that's kind of what I work on with my one-on-one clients. We come up with a bespoke morning ritual for them. So this is a great way to start your day, and that brings incredible peace to your life. But here is number 2. Number 2 is all about bringing movement to your life. Now, whenever we're doing movement, you actually have to become very focused. And, because you're doing a routine, you're moving, you're doing a heavier weight, you're doing a yoga, holding a position, you have to really just be focusing on one thing. And when you're focusing on one thing, it actually brings a lot of peace to your life. And so I would say movement of any kind is something that I make sure I do every day, whether it's just walking on the treadmill, doing some stretches, doing a Zumba, going to my dance class. That is focus, and that brings you peace. So that comes into your morning ritual, right? Where you ask your body, how would you like to move today? Then you actually go and do the movement. And that can be any time during the day, but it brings you peace. Here's number 3. All right, one of the other things that really brings me peace is having a beautiful skincare routine. I love this time of my day. It's like a ritual of self-love and beautiful scents and fragrances. And I love the motion of washing my face and massaging my face and doing my little movements that I do using all my beautiful skincare. And I really recommend that you find something that has very natural fragrances in. These things have other peaceful benefits to you that, are just natural, and you don't have to do too much work. So having a beautiful skincare routine is something I highly recommend. Here's number 4. One of the things that I have just implemented probably in the last month, but has made a tremendous impact on me, is when I'm going to pick my kids up from school, I used to, because I love listening to podcasts, I used to put a podcast on all the time, or I'd have the radio on, and I do love to sing, so I thought I was doing something really good. What I realized is that in the afternoon, it is very essential for my brain to take a nap. I can do it through meditation, but sometimes I don't have the time. I have clients right up until the time that I need to go get my kids. And so what I found was, as long as I gave my brain its nap time, I felt refreshed and peaceful and regenerated and calm. So I turned off the podcast, I turned off the radio, and I simply drove in silence. And this has benefited me tremendously. So I would say, maybe your drive home from work, maybe your train ride home from work, maybe just a period of time in the afternoon where you turn off all the sounds, or in the car, even on the way driving to someone, have the silence. We don't always need to be learning. We don't always need to be hearing things. We don't always need to have noise. It's beautiful what Deepak Chopra said, that God speaks in silence. And in order to hear the silence, you need to be still. And so that's what this is all about. So that's my next recommendation. Turn off the sound. The next idea I have for you is to have a bath once a week. Oftentimes, I know some people that have a bath every day. To me, it's too much. And if I set that as a target, it would almost cause stress to me. But if I say one time per week, I am going to put into my schedule somehow an Epsom salt bath. The Epsom salts actually really reduce the inflammation in your body. It reduces the toxins. The warmth of the bath calms you, and you have a gorgeous, gorgeous experience. So I would say have an Epsom bath at least once a week. Let's move on to my very last idea, which brings beautiful, tremendous peace. This last idea is something I do every single evening. I turn off the lights, I turn over in my bed, and the last thing I think about before I fall asleep is this question, basically. I ask myself, what was the best part of my day? And it always leaves me with a smile on my face and a warmth in my heart, because I'm remembering something. It could either have to be something with my children that we did, or something that they said to me or we did together. It could be something between my husband or a client. it's just a beautiful way to drift into my sleep. I highly, highly recommend this. It is just a perfect bookend to your evening, and it really creates that peace and sends your brain into a beautiful spot of thinking rather than churning away at problems, focusing on things that you have to do the next day. You're focusing on just, and that's a beautiful way to fall asleep. So I hope you've enjoyed these very simple ways of bringing peace into your day every single day. They are vital to really having the experience of what I call the elegant life, where you are filled with fulfillment and joy and contentment and peace. Make it an elegant day, an elegant week, and we will see you next time.